Yo, 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 in the last video, I showed you how to chop up samples like Alchemist and J-DILLA. And so I got this beat I made called R.I.P. J-DILLA, where I chopped up a sample similar to how J-DILLA does and then put drums on it. So here, if you want to watch that video, you can go find out how I chopped up this sample. But basically, here is the sample just on its own.
And me.
So yeah, we got super chopped up sample. The original sample is super different. But now I'm going to show you some of the techniques I used for the drums to make them J-DILLA-esque. So this is the snare I chose. It's a very, very raw snare that we put in there. It sounds literally like someone just playing a snare. And then we got the hi-hat. So very raw hi-hat with a lot of tone to it. Then we got the kick. So what I did for the kick, to make it also sound more real, I got one normal kick and then I got a pre-kick. So what this does is it makes it sound like you're actually playing a kick drum. Like that's the real way if you were like hitting it that it would sound. So we got that super dope kick in there, and that's what this all sounds like together. And that's the other thing I did, is the kick has some variety to it. It's not just like the same loop throughout the whole beat. We got little variations to the kick for 8 bars there. And then I added in the second half of the part, after 8 bars, we added in this little shaker. This is another thing. It was originally throughout, like literally like a little 4-bar, 2-bar loop, and I chopped it up just to have a little more variety, so it wasn't continuously playing. And then, so this is what that all sounds like together. Okay, then we got this open hi-hat. It's a very subtle open hi-hat, but we have that. I like to mix up, same with my hi-hats, have it not be like on the same note over and over and over. So then we have the open hi-hat 1 and open hi-hat 2, and as you can see, they're in throughout 8 bars, they're placed differently. So then we have this little percussion, just another little shaker, just to have something in there. Then we have these toms, just a really subtle way to do a transition into the choruses. So then all together we have this. The secret, though, I'll play just the chorus first. Okay, so then the secret to this is a lot of people would just make a 8-bar loop and loop that for 3 minutes and call it a beat. But that's not what J-DILLA does. J-DILLA, a lot of the time his verses, this is similar for MADLIB too, their verses just have like subtle changes to the beat, but they are enough changes to warrant it being different than the chorus. So the first thing I did is I took out the drums except the kick and a little bit of percussions for the beginning of the verse, and then that happens again right here. And then in the middle, we have kind of everything together. And then we have this little four kick pattern at the end. And then on a lot of beats, that's where you would go back into the chorus. But since this beat, that would only be 8 bars. 8 bars. We want to make it 12 bars. So we have this little build up into the chorus. So one thing you can do for a good build up is to completely remove the snare drum so that it's just kicks and hi-hats, and it makes you long for when the snare drum is going to come back in again. It's just a good way to build tension, and especially with this 4-bar stutter that we did right here at the end of the 8 bars, that gives it even more build up because you hear that and you think the snare is going to come in, then it doesn't. And this is another little trick I did. So with the build-up, you don't expect the snare to come in again until the chorus drops. So we have one snare right before the drop. So with that and the toms, it just takes you off guard. You don't feel it coming until it happens, and then boom, we drop into the snare. So we have like the snare separate from all the rest. We're building up the whole time with the hi-hat, kick drum, and everything except the snare. So then when we bring in this little snare at the end, it might just sound like, oh, it's just one little snare. But because we have the snare and none of this other stuff that was all happening, it really changes the perception on your ear and catches you off guard. That's the kind of stuff J-DILLA and MADLIB do a lot of. Yeah, so that's the whole beat. At the very end, I just did the same chop up of the intro again.
And me, and me, and me.
So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Follow me. Make sure if you want this beat, you hit me up ASAP. It will be available for a short time. So one person can get the exclusive to it. But hit me up and make sure you follow me for more dope tutorials. I'm trying to get a ton of stuff happening in 2024. So stuff's about to get really crazy. Appreciate you. Have a good day.